If you don't vote for me, you don't smoke crack. Why Biden administration is handing out free crack pipes. This is a real fucking thing, by the way. Okay, the Biden administration will provide grant funding to pay for the distribution of safe smoking kits. What exactly does that mean? Free crack pipes, free needles, free spoons to cook up your heroin or whatever your drug of choice is. This is how the Biden administration is spending your tax dollars. No, this wasn't hidden on the back pages of anything. This was exactly what they desired to do. This was exactly what they're pushing. Mostly because you see the other European countries, which has just turned a blind eye to hard drug use, and it's just worked out incredibly well for them in places like Portugal, where they have a 40 to 50% unemployment rate. And oh yeah, no, you just take a look at even domestic examples of where they've decriminalized all these hard drugs in places like Portland, and that's a beacon for lawful adherence, right? This is definitely going to be a great fucking idea now, won't it be? No, instead of offering support in order to, get these people off the streets, okay, because that's who these people, this policy is targeting, okay, homeless, and specifically under the auspices of racial equality. We'll get to that in a moment, because ain't that a bitch of a admission? Because like it says here, a number of conservative news outlets reported in recent days that the administration would fund the distribution of crack pipes for drug users as part of a push to advance a racial equity. Well, where would they come up with that? It doesn't really seem like a Republican talking point to just bring up the fact that, he's handing out crack pipes, so that must mean that he's doing it for the benefit of blacks. Well, if Biden was specifically doing this for the betterment or for the benefit of anyone, all you need to do is just take a look at his eldest surviving child to just see who would be benefiting from free crack pipes from the federal government. Anyways, however, safe smoking kits are just one piece of the equipment in a list of 20 items from the Department of Health and Human Services outlined in grant applications for its harm reduction program. Again, get these fucking people off the streets. Get the drug addicts some fucking help. If they want it, of course, because there are some people who are out there that are on the streets that are drug addicts. They just want to do crack. They just want to do meth. They just want to do fucking heroin until they die. And that's their prerogative. Have fun. Do that. You're probably better served out on the streets anyways. Just don't fucking hassle anybody. That would be great. There are some people who are fucking up, and some people who have had the walls close in on them because over the course of the past 2 years, thanks to the pandemic, which this fucking balding, idiotic old asshole firmly supported every step along the way. AA meetings were canceled. Okay, in-person counseling sessions were replaced with just these worthless fucking teleconferences. Okay, the help that people needed to stay off the rock, to stay off the pipe, to stay off the other cylindrical objects that they use in order to procure their drug of choice, those actual helpful measures were just put on pause. They were denied to the people who were doing well with those guidelines, with those guardrails in place. So instead of helping them that way, no, just give them a free pipe so they don't, spread the coof, or they don't have to share needles so they don't have to spread the coof. The primary purpose of the program is to reduce infection among drug users. Not to get them to stop, because, there's nothing good to be gained about hard drug use, or even just any drug use to begin with, but whatever. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, SAMHSA, part of HHS, issued a notice of funding for the 2022 Harm Reduction Program grant on December 8th, 2021. The application deadline was February 7th, which may explain why it was subject to a recent report. The 75-page application still is available to read online. I won't bore you with that, but we got some other alternative means, because as you can remember, the second paragraph that's there, Republicans are saying Biden pushed giving out free crack pipes to advance racial equity. We've got some quote unquote fact checkers out there doing Yauman's work. But yes, a 75-page application still available to read online explains the eligible applicants for the grant include state, local, and tribal governments, as well as tribal organizations and community-based organizations, among others. The purpose of the program is to support community-based overdose prevention programs, and you're going to do that by encouraging drug use. Okay. Syringe service programs and other harm reduction services. Okay, so if the entire point of this program is to stop infection, why is it the purpose? Okay, why is the stated purpose of this to stop overdose prevention? You don't want to transmit anything. You want to stop bloodborne transmission with shared needle use. Why are you including crack pipes? I'm just wondering. It will be used for the prevention activities to help control the spread of infectious diseases and the consequences of such diseases for individuals with or at risk of developing substance use disorders, by encouraging them, by giving them the means in order to consume the highly addictive, highly detrimental drugs. Oh my fucking God. One of the requests for recipients of grant funding is to purchase equipment and supplies to enhance harm reduction efforts. The application list includes 20 examples. These include safe smoking kits and supplies. Has been the focus of some recent articles regarding crack pipes. Other items on the list were infectious disease testing kits, safe sex kits, including PrEP. PrEP prevents the transmission, or at least helps, like a vaccine of sorts, when it comes to the transmission of HIV or AIDS. I don't know. I don't have fucking raw dog sex with the Haitian hookers, so I'm not running the risk of catching AIDS. And condoms, syringes, and prevent and control the spread of infectious diseases and screening for infectious diseases. Cool. So free coof fucking tests. Is that what we're doing here? Throughout oath, though the overall purpose of the program is harm reduction and not racial equity or equality. Applicants who are granted funding will be expected to develop a behavioral health disparity impact statement. Remember, this isn't about racial equality. A health disparity impact statement no later than 60 days after the funding is awarded. It sounds a lot like this is all about quality if you're talking about disparately impacted people. One part of the impact statement is showing a number of people who are served during the grant period and identified under-resourced population, such as racial, sexual, gender, and ethnic minority groups. So it's literally giving devices in which to conduct harmful practices to the blacks, the gays, the Apache attack helicopters, and I don't know what's the difference between racial and ethnic minority groups. I don't know what the difference of that is, nor do I really care. Priority populations of the program are underserved communities that are greatly impacted by substance abuse disorders. Yup. Tell me you want to keep the blacks on crack without telling me you want to keep the blacks on crack. But thanks to the good people over there at Snopes, they have our back on this one. Don't you forget it. In fact, they have a brand new fact check that's out there. Did Biden administration fund crack pipes to advance racial equity? Sure seems like that if you read the context of the article, but wait a minute. Okay, so we got Snopes here, the official Snopes page. Trust me, as you can see, you got their rating here, but it's outdated. Why is it outdated? Why is there Wayback Machine out here helping us from just a little bit earlier in the day with the same claim? Okay, the same headline. Obviously, it's an older snapshot of things, so not everything's going to load. But did a Biden administration fund crack pipes to advance racial equity? Exact same thing. They got mostly false here. And this was from last night. Okay, I think it's from like 2 minutes after midnight where somebody snapshotted this, and that's the one that I have pulled up here. But regardless, it used to be mostly false. Okay, in 2022, a U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Substance Abuse Harm Reduction Grant did require recipients to provide safer smoking kits to existing drug users. In distributing grants, a priority would be given to applicants serving historically underserved communities. And as we know, that historically underserved communities is a very popular term that's used by the administration to refer to minorities. So if that's what the text of it is, and that's who's getting first come, first served service, what could be false about this? This is just one of around 20 components of the grant, and far from the most prominent or important one. Okay, listen, you didn't really clarify any of it. You didn't say that it was false. You just said that it wasn't the most important aspect of this, despite being the primary focus of outraged news reports. Okay, cool. That's why we got today's, like right now. Here, I'll hit refresh, and we can just go ahead and see if anything's changed. Nope. So why is this outdated all of a sudden? Okay, they got a weird admission here, and that's where I would just want to kind of, dunk on Not just Biden for giving crack pipes to blacks because he's an out racist, but also Snopes itself for really just not living up to its stated purpose of being a fact checker. After a wave of grossly misleading news coverage in February 2020, people calling you out for not doing your job, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services stipulated that federal funding would not be used to include pipes in safe smoking kits as part of substance abuse harm reduction grant programs. Cool. So what? So now you're just going to be giving glass cylindrical heating devices, or even just needles, giving what, heroin needles to Asians? Like, it doesn't really much matter. We can just go ahead and make up whatever stereotype you want, and it's still going to be just as funny because this is just a racist fucking program. This newly stipulated detail was not originally available, meaning the assertion made in the first wave of coverage had become outdated. Or listen, okay, you guys are supposed to be fact checkers. You're supposed to be understanding the total context of the order. 75 pages still out there for you to view, but yet you fucking run head first to lick the old man's sack in order to run cover for him. Oh, it's mostly false because that's not the stated intent. No. You were just out there running cover. You just think that everybody would just click on the old article. You just see, oh, mostly false. That just means it's just more right-wing disinformation. When in fact, you aren't looking at the order itself, because it didn't say that it changed anything. Okay, they just said that they clarified what was actually going on. So you guys weren't doing your work. You weren't doing your fucking job. And still, once these kits hit the street, I fucking will guarantee that there's going to be crack pipes inside of it because they already made them. I'm sure they got them by the help of fucking Burisma or some dumb shit like that. But yeah, no, that was fun for a minute, but now we're going to once again shift gears dramatically because tomorrow is Valentine's Day, I think, apparently. Whatever, I don't fucking know. Nor do I really care, but we got to go on Thought Patrol here for a second because we went on, what, a Dem Patrol, then we went on Truth Patrol. We got to keep this shit rolling now, don't we? With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.